This video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute professional medical advice. Please consult with your doctor or a qualified healthcare specialist before starting any new vitamins or supplements mentioned in this video. Use of this information is at your own risk. A broken hip after 60 isn't just an injury. Statistics say it's often a death sentence. Why is your skeleton so unprotected? Because your leg muscles are dissolving while you sleep. You are defenseless. Stop trusting old remedies that don't work. If you want to survive the next slip, you need to change your nighttime routine tonight. A broken hip after 60 isn't just an injury. Statistics confirm it is often a death sentence. It sounds harsh, but we must face the reality of what happens when the human body becomes fragile. One moment you are standing, and the next, a simple slip in the bathroom or a missed step on the stairs changes your life forever. The hospital visits, the surgery, the long confinement in bed, for many, this marks the beginning of the end. But here is the terrifying truth that no one discusses. You are not falling because you are clumsy, and you are not breaking bones simply because they are brittle. You are falling because your legs are slowly dissolving. There is a silent cannibal living inside you. Every single night, while you drift into what you believe is restorative sleep, your body turns against you. It enters a state of starvation. For 7 to 9 hours, you are not eating, yet your vital organs, your heart, your lungs, your brain, still demand energy and amino acids to function. Where does your body find these resources when your stomach is empty? It takes them from your muscles. Specifically, it targets the largest reservoir of protein you have, your thighs and your glutes. You are literally waking up every morning with legs that are weaker than they were when you went to bed. This is not just aging, it is a biological betrayal. Welcome to EldraFit Nutrition. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. If you are determined to protect your independence and refuse to become a burden to your family, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel. Your support drives us to uncover these life-saving truths that the mainstream medical industry often overlooks. Now, let us look deeper into this nightly destruction. In your younger years, this process didn't matter. Your body was efficient. You could eat a simple breakfast and your muscles would bounce back, repairing the damage done overnight almost instantly. But after 60, something changes. You develop a condition known as anabolic resistance. Think of your muscles as a house with a locked door. When you are young, the door is wide open. Any food you eat walks right in and builds muscle. But as you age, that door slams shut and locks tight. This means that even if you are eating what you think is a healthy diet, your muscles are starving. You are suffering from a phenomenon where your body breaks down muscle tissue faster than it can rebuild it. This is why you see your legs getting thinner, while your waistline might stay the same or even grow. The structural integrity of your lower body is being compromised. The very pillars that hold you upright are being hollowed out from the inside. You might have heard that drinking bone broth or eating light soups is the answer. You have been told these are gentle and healing for seniors. That is a dangerous lie. While bone broth has its benefits, it is completely useless against the aggressive muscle wasting that happens at 3 a.m. It is too weak. It lacks the biological power to smash through the locked door of anabolic resistance. Trusting a cup of broth to save your legs is like trying to put out a forest fire with a water pistol. You are defenseless against the drop in hormones and the spike in cortisol that occurs while you sleep. Unless you intervene with a very specific, scientifically calibrated nutritional strategy, this process will continue until one day your legs simply cannot support your weight when you stumble. But there is a way to stop it. There is a specific protocol that acts as a fortress for your muscles, keeping them safe through the long night. Before we reveal exactly what that solution is, I want you to look inward and answer a difficult question about your future. Which of these two potential futures scares you more? A, being bedridden and dependent on others to carry you to the bathroom. B, suffering from chronic pain, but maintaining your independence to move around. Please type A or B in the comments below. Your answer will help us understand what matters most to you as we continue this journey together. You might be wondering why something as simple as a packaged bar could be the answer to a biological crisis as complex as aging. To understand this, We must first dismantle the myths that have likely shaped your dietary habits for decades. You have been led to believe that warm, liquid comfort foods like bone broth are the gold standard for healing. While bone broth is excellent for your skin and perhaps your gut lining, when it comes to the raw, structural integrity of your thigh muscles, it is functionally useless. Bone broth is primarily collagen, which lacks the essential amino acid profile required to trigger muscle protein synthesis in an older body. Drinking it before bed is comforting, but it leaves your muscles starving for the fuel they actually need to survive the night. The solution requires aggression, not comfort. To overcome the anabolic resistance we discussed earlier, that locked door preventing muscle growth, you need a sledgehammer. You need a massive, concentrated dose of protein that hits your system with precision. This is where the specific engineering of a high-quality protein bar becomes your biological armor. But not just any bar will do. The secret lies in the molecular composition of the ingredients. We are looking for a dual-phase delivery system, a mechanism that nature perfected in milk, but that we must consume in a concentrated form to be effective after age 60. This mechanism involves two specific types of protein, whey and casein. Think of your metabolism like a campfire that needs to burn through a cold, dark night. If you throw paper on the fire, it flares up instantly but burns out in minutes. That is whey protein. It absorbs rapidly, flooding your blood with amino acids within 30 minutes. This is the spark. It wakes up your cellular machinery and screams at your muscles to start rebuilding. However, a spark alone cannot sustain you for 8 hours of sleep. If you only have whey, the fire dies by midnight and the starvation process resumes. This is why the second component, casein, is the miracle worker. Casein is unique because when it hits the acid in your stomach, it forms a gel-like curd. This substance does not digest quickly. Instead, it sits in your stomach like a dense oak log on that campfire, slowly releasing amino acids drop by drop, hour after hour. It trickles fuel into your bloodstream at 2 a.m., at 4 a.m., and right until you wake up. By consuming a protein bar that combines these two elements, you are getting the immediate trigger to stop tissue breakdown and the sustained supply to build new tissue while you dream. The reason we recommend 2 bars totaling 40 grams of protein is a matter of mathematics and physiology. A younger person might only need 20 grams to activate this process, but you need double that amount to force your body to respond. A single cup of milk or a small egg simply does not generate enough signal to override the aging process. You need the density of the bars. Furthermore, they are practical. Cooking a meal right before bed is a chore, and drinking large amounts of liquid leads to disrupted sleep due to bathroom visits. The protein bar is dry, dense, and potent, a tactical nutritional tool designed to save your legs when they are most vulnerable. Now that you understand the powerful mechanism of whey and casein working in tandem, you are ready to head to the store. But this is where the danger lies. The supplement aisle is a minefield. The food industry is not designing products to save your legs. They are designing products to sell candy to people who want to feel healthy. If you grab the wrong wrapper, you are not fighting sarcopenia. You are just spiking your blood sugar and accelerating inflammation, which is the enemy of your joints. You must become a detective. You need to read the label with the scrutiny of someone whose mobility depends on it. The first rule of engagement is to check the protein source. Turn the bar over and look at the very first ingredient. You want to see milk protein isolate or a combination of whey protein isolate and casein. These are the gold standards. They contain the complete amino acid profile, specifically high levels of leucine, which is the chemical key that turns on the engine of muscle growth. If you see soy protein isolate as the primary ingredient, put it back. While soy has its place, it is biologically inferior for older adults trying to build muscle mass against the tide of aging. It simply does not pack the same punch per gram as dairy-based proteins. The second critical number is the sugar content. This is non-negotiable. You are eating this right before you sleep. If you consume a bar with 20 grams of sugar, you will spike your insulin, crash your blood glucose in the middle of the night, and trigger a release of cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone that eats muscle. A high sugar bar effectively cancels out the benefits of the protein. You need a bar with less than 5 grams of sugar. Look for brands that use natural sweeteners like stevia or erythritol, which provide the taste without the metabolic wreckage. So, which brands pass this rigorous test? We have analyzed the market to save you the guesswork. Brands like Quest bars and One bars are excellent choices because they use the correct milk-based protein blends and keep the sugar content minimal. Pure Protein is another reliable, budget-friendly option that hits the necessary macronutrient targets. On the flip side, you must avoid brands like Cliff bars for this specific nighttime purpose. They are energy bars designed for hikers burning thousands of calories, not for seniors trying to build muscle during sleep. They are loaded with oats and sugar, which is exactly what you do not need before bed. If you are on a strict budget or simply cannot stomach the idea of processed bars, there is a whole food alternative that works almost as well: cottage cheese. It is naturally rich in casein protein. A cup of low-fat cottage cheese before bed mimics the slow-release effect of the bars, providing a steady stream of amino acids to your thighs throughout the night. It is a worthy backup plan for your nutritional arsenal. While the nighttime protein bars act as a shield against the nocturnal destruction of your muscles, what you consume during the daylight hours acts as the weapon. You cannot build a fortress on a foundation of sand. To ensure your legs are capable of supporting your weight for the next decade, you must create an internal environment where inflammation is low, blood flow is high, and the connection between your brain and your feet is lightning fast. This requires a strategic menu of 7 amplifiers that turn your body into a muscle-building machine. It begins the moment you wake up with Greek yogurt. This is not a casual breakfast choice. It is a tactical decision. Your femur, the large thigh bone, is the strongest bone in your body, but it requires a constant supply of calcium to maintain its density. Greek yogurt provides this mineral while simultaneously breaking your overnight fast with a high-quality protein hit. By midday, your focus must shift to eggs, specifically the yolks. Many seniors fear the cholesterol in yolks, but for your legs, the yolk is essential. It is a rich source of vitamin D and choline. Vitamin D is the gatekeeper that allows calcium to enter your bones, while choline fortifies the neural pathways. When you trip, your brain sends an emergency signal to your legs to correct your balance. Choline ensures that signal arrives instantly, potentially saving you from a catastrophic impact. As evening approaches, your dinner plate must feature wild-caught salmon. Think of the omega-3 fatty acids in salmon as biological lubrication. Chronic inflammation makes your knees stiff and your hips slow to react. These healthy fats reduce that inflammation, allowing your joints to move with the fluidity required to navigate stairs and uneven terrain. Pair this fish with cooked spinach. The nitrates in spinach dilate your blood vessels, forcing oxygen-rich blood all the way down to your toes, combating the heavy, numb sensation that makes walking feel like a chore. On the side, add a baked sweet potato. This is your insurance policy against cramps. A sweet potato is loaded with potassium, a critical electrolyte that regulates muscle contraction. If you have ever woken up in agony with a Charlie horse in your calf, you know that a cramped muscle is a damaged muscle. That soreness lingers, making you unstable the next day. Potassium prevents this electrical misfiring. Finally, bridge the gaps in your day with almonds. Rich in magnesium and vitamin E, they protect your cell membranes from oxidative stress, ensuring that the muscle tissue you build at night isn't destroyed by the wear and tear of the day. Knowledge without execution is merely philosophy. To truly save your legs from the inevitability of gravity, you must weave these nutritional threads into a tight, unbreakable daily routine. This is your battle plan for independence. It begins the moment your feet hit the floor. Start your day with the Greek yogurt and berries, signaling to your body that the fasting period is over. Let lunch be your anchor with eggs and greens, and let dinner be the soothing anti-inflammatory repair session with salmon and sweet potatoes. But the most critical moment of your entire day arrives exactly 1 hour before you turn off the lights. This is the magic hour that determines your future mobility. 30 to 60 minutes before bed, unwrap your 2 protein bars. Do not eat them lying down. Sit upright and treat this with the seriousness of taking life-saving medication. Sip a small glass of water to aid digestion, chew slowly, and visualize the protein doing its work. As you swallow, know that you are sending a battalion of reinforcements to your thigh muscles. This simple act, performed with religious consistency, builds a defensive wall against the nightly erosion of your strength. You are turning the time you spend sleeping, usually a time of decay, into a period of reconstruction. If you stick to this protocol, the fear that grips you when you look at a flight of stairs will begin to fade. You will notice that standing up from a low chair becomes effortless. You will feel a new stability in your stride that you haven't felt in years. Sarcopenia and frailty are not your destiny. They are simply a default setting that you now know how to override. You have the blueprint, and you have the tools. The only thing left to decide is whether you will let another night pass where your muscles fade away, or if you will take a stand tonight. Eat your protein, protect your legs, and walk boldly into a future where you are the one in control. We often live our lives assuming that our body is a static vessel, a machine that will simply carry on until it eventually runs out of fuel. We accept the aches, the stiffness, and the gradual loss of strength as inevitable taxes we must pay for growing older. We look at our parents or grandparents who ended up in wheelchairs or hospital beds, and we silently resign ourselves to the same fate. But what we have discussed today proves that this resignation is premature. Your biology is not fixed. Even after 60, 70, or 80 years, your muscles are waiting for a signal. They are desperate for the resources to repair themselves, but for too long, we have been sending them the wrong message. We have starved them in the name of light eating, and we have soothed them with weak broths when they needed strong bricks to rebuild their foundations. The journey to a fracture-free future does not require you to become a marathon runner or a weightlifter. It does not demand that you overhaul your entire life or spend hours in the kitchen. It asks for something much smaller, yet infinitely more powerful: consistency. It asks you to change the last hour of your day. That simple act of unwrapping 2 protein bars is a declaration of war against frailty. It is a tangible commitment to your own independence. Every night you do this, you are buying yourself more time on your feet. You are buying the ability to walk your daughter down the aisle, to chase your grandchildren in the park, or simply to stand in your own kitchen and cook a meal without pain. Do not let tonight be another night where you drift into sleep while your legs drift into decay. The science is clear, the protocol is simple, and the results are life-changing. You have the knowledge now, and with that knowledge comes the responsibility to act. Do not wait for a fall to wake you up. Take control of your health while you are still standing, and ensure that you remain the architect of your own life for decades to come. The lesson. The most profound insight here is that aging is not a passive slide into decline. It is an active process of maintenance. We often think we get weaker because of time, but we actually get weaker because of starvation. The body is remarkably plastic. It will tear itself down or build itself up, depending entirely on the raw materials you provide. The silent cannibal isn't a villain. It's a survival mechanism. Your body prioritizes your heart over your legs. The lesson is that you must provide enough abundance so the body doesn't have to choose between survival and strength. How to apply it. Stop treating nutrition as fuel for the day and start viewing it as material for repair. Most people eat to have energy to work. You need to shift your mindset to eating to provide bricks for the night shift. Apply the protection protocol. Never go to bed with an empty tank. Treat your nighttime protein not as a snack, but as a biological necessity, just like locking your front door before you sleep. You wouldn't leave your house open to intruders. Don't leave your muscles open to atrophy. I have a simple question for you all, and I would love to read your answers in the comments below. Do you currently have a habit of eating something before bed? Or have you always been told that eating late is bad for you? Please share your thoughts and experiences. It helps our community learn from one another. And finally, if you found value in this video and want to support our mission at ElderFit Nutrition, please click that subscribe button. It gives us the motivation to keep researching and creating content that could save a life. Thank you for watching, and here is to your strength.